So, flying on airplanes is really never the most pleasant experience. You've got to sit in traffic, usually on the way to the airport. You sit through countless lines and security, and you have to sit in a cram gate, eat pretty terrible airport food, and then you finally get your seat on the plane, and you wait nervously to see who sits next to you. I personally was on a flight a couple weeks ago, and I sat down, and a very nice woman sat next to me that I talked to for a bit, but she was very overweight, and I honestly did not have very much room at all in my seat. Like I said, she was really nice, and I don't mean to be rude to her at all, but when you pay for a seat, you expect to be able to sit there comfortably, use your armrest, and when she was taking up about a fifth of my seat, I honestly didn't have the best experience that I could have. So I'm going to talk a bit about today about what airlines can do to ensure that their passengers get the comfort or the entire seat that they pay for. So I guess first off, one other point, I was surfing, so I flew with my surfboards, and my surfboard bag probably weighed 25 pounds, and they charged me $150 both ways to bring my surfboards with me. So me and my surfboard bags are still under 200 pounds total, yet I'd pay $300 extra just to bring them, and this person next to me, who weighs more than me and my surfboard bags, didn't have to pay anything extra at all. So I think that's a little bit unfair to begin with. So basically, a few options for how these problems can be overcome that I've read about. Someone suggested actually weighing people when they get to the airport, which I think would be very unlikely. There's actually surveys done, like people were asked, would you mind being weighed at the airport? And I believe the survey I read said 60% of people that responded said they wouldn't mind, but it would honestly take up a lot of time. It's going to slow down the whole process even more with the lines and the weighing and all that. Security is slow enough. Another option people came up with would be to have small, medium, and large seats, but not every single airline is going to redo every single airplane that they have. It's just going to cost a fortune, so I don't see that being very likely. And the third option that I know some airlines are actually already implementing, and I think would be the most probable, would just be if you can't fit comfortably in a seat by yourself, you have to purchase 2 seats. If you have an oversized bag, you have to pay extra. It's not fair to the person sitting next to you if you're going to take up all of your seat and some of theirs. They paid for a seat, they should be allowed to sit comfortably. And even for airlines, one of the best things about that, if you have a good experience on a flight, you're probably going to fly that airline again. I can't tell you how many times I hear about people who had an airline that lost their bag, or it was uncomfortable or bumpy or delayed, all that, and you hear them, oh, I'll never fly that airline again. So it's in the airline's best interest as well as passengers to make sure everyone's comfortable. It's not a mean thing to do, but if you can't fit comfortably in your own seat, you should be forced or obligated to purchase a second one to make it more comfortable for yourself and the people sitting next to you. Thank you. And the sources I used for this were NBCnews.com, debate.org, obesityaction.org, cheapair.com, and united.com.